Hey, welcome back. And we've gone into Studio B because we're doing more than just talking in this segment. Greg Olsen, Carolina Panthers tight end. How's the offseason going so far, by the way?
It's been great. We've had, this is the first time in my career, we've had full participation. All 72 guys are at the facility every day and getting a lot of quality work in, both, the weight room stuff, the classroom, reinstalling the offense, and it's really been a great offseason thus far. Here's
the thing, though. Optimism is at a fever pitch, not just among the fans. I've talked to plenty of the players who really feel good about this offseason, which sometimes scares me. I sometimes think if you fly under the radar, the vibes will work out better.
You want people talking about you. You want to have a little buzz about you, and that's the important part. So, we know we have a lot of work to do. Last year, by no means, was a success. So, we got to take that next jump, and that's what the offseason's for, is to put that work in so when the season comes, we're ready.
And everybody puts in their work their own way. Now, you happen to have chosen, and a lot of your teammates also, a way that's a little unconventional. Martial arts, extreme training. Tell me how that all got started and what it's meant for you so far.
Yeah, so it actually was just introduced, through our strength coach and Coach Rivera. Brought these guys, Ryan and his staff, brought them on board over to the facility every Tuesday. And, we were, at first, they kind of came in, a bunch of guys with a bunch of mitts and bags and taking us through these drills, and it just became something that a lot of us just really took a liking in and saw so much that we could apply that they do in their world that we could use, from them to make us better football players. Like we say, they're not trying to make us fighters. We're not fighting guys, but we're taking so much of what they do and applying it to our world. And there's so much carryover, and it's been awesome.
The Ryan that Greg mentions is Ryan Hoover, who is with Fit to Fight now, I think the name of your business is. Now, you put together a little video with James Anderson. Let's take a look at it. Panthers linebacker James Anderson. And tell me some of what you're doing with him here and how this applies to helping out the Panthers.
Sure. With James and with Greg and the other guys, you can see there some mitt work for hand speed and a bit of wrestling, grappling, hand fighting, things that they would do on the line. With James, we did a little bit more because he was doing some of his conditioning with us in his off season as well, which you see some of that there. But a lot of it just had to do with specific to his position where he's trying to beat guys. He's trying to hand fight and get past the guy so he can get to the running back or get to the quarterback or whatever the case may be.
And Greg, as we were talking about in the office before the show started, this isn't just about sweating. This is about getting tangible techniques that work come football season.
Absolutely. We're not in there just to get a workout. We get 4 hours of work in with the team every day at the facility. So it's not so much as it's extra conditioning, and that part of it is real, but it's very skill oriented. It's very high level skill that some of us really struggle to just really learn. It's so technical. There's so much detail into what these guys do in the world, of the fighting so-called world, like I call it. And there's just so much application that can be used, on your feet, your balance, your counter moves, hand control, head control, and just there's so much carryover, and these guys get it. They understand. They're not making us fighters. They're making us better football players, and it's been great.
Ryan, let's see what he's talking about. I know you've brought some things, and you're going to demonstrate a few things with Greg.
Yeah, for sure.
This is what he's been waiting for.
Hope I can come through.
So we'll have Greg throw on some gloves real quick, and while he does that, we can chat through a couple of things. With the mitts, with the gloves, mostly it's about some hand speed. I mean, for Greg, he's looking to lock up with a guy, beat him to the hands. Sometimes it's about, we talk about fighting half a person, fighting half a man, so I don't want to stay inside of Greg's elbows. If we pretend for a second that Greg is bigger and stronger than I am, then, it doesn't make sense for me to always fight against somebody's strengths. So we try to get to where Greg can, or whoever we're working with, can use somebody else's weight and momentum against them. But with the mitts, a couple of quick drills we can do. First one is just going to be a cross my heart drill, where it's a active hands and feet drill, where Greg is just going to move with me. He's going to stay square to me, not let me get away from him. But on the line, this is important. Good time. Now, from here, if we just go some fast hand stuff, he's going to go right uppercut, right straight, and it's just fast hands, shooting from the hip. Nice.
Now,
So
again, this is not to make
quick.
him a fighter,
Nope.
per se. That, again, I know you talked about it once. How does this help when it's 2nd and 8?
The way I look at it is like that kind of motion there. That hip twist, for me, from beating a guy off the line in the passing game, to wrestling a guy, in the run blocking. If I'm trying to hold this ground here, I know I can't let this shoulder get pulled. So this hip, I know, has to be strong. So all that hip motion, that torque, that counterbalance, all plays in to just being good on your feet.
And that would be the striking angle. With Greg, we're working, a little bit of the grappling stuff too. Like arm drags in here where he's really creating his angles and fighting half a person. He gets outside of my elbows. So first point of contact, even before I'm getting there, he's beating me and he's getting past me. So for him, if he's got a release.
So if he's on the line and trying to get away from traffic, that basically is how you get off the line and free yourself up.
I mean, again, we wouldn't be grabbing, but it's the same concept. If this was James Anderson trying to control me off the line, if I can pin elbows, pass by, clear my hips past his hips, I've now won. He now has to change direction to chase me versus him staying in front of me. Now he's controlling my shoulders. Now I'm struggling to get by him. I've slowed down. I'm not at my route depth, so on and so forth.
That is amazing. I hate to say it because time is rapidly going. What's the #1 thing that people watching this should take? I know you're training Panthers. For
Right.
someone at home, other than don't try this at home, what should they take out of all this?
Well, I mean, it's a different function for these guys, obviously, but we use the same movements, the same techniques for housewives, doctors, lawyers that are looking to protect themselves or just get into shape.
How about sportscasters?
Those two.
Okay, so if I come at you like this,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? And then I go like this.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't recommend doing that to this guy.
I don't recommend doing it either.
This guy's no joke now.
Greg,
Thanks so
thank
much.
you so
We
much.
enjoyed it.
Really
Yep,
appreciate
you got
it.
it.
Ryan, yeah.
Easy. He'll arm drag you there.
And remember, this is going to help the Panthers because right now it's going to be a special season, and this is part of it. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, tomorrow, GOT game at 5 p.m. right after the Talladega race. Have a great night, everybody. Gentlemen, again, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.